Hey, Ginger, it's Micah Tyler.
Hi, Micah Tyler. How are you today?
Good. Good. How are you?
I'm good. Good to talk to a fellow Texan. I'm originally from
Come on.
Dallas, so
There we
um,
go.
yeah, grew up with Bart in church from like probably age 9 up, and I won't say how many years, but Bart's only a couple years behind me, if that gives you a hint.
There we go. Okay. Come on. So you're a North Texaser.
Oh yes, oh
Okay.
yes.
I'm way over here in the Southeast. So
I
we're,
see
we're
that. Are you in Beaumont, or that's where you're from?
we live in a little town 30 miles north of Beaumont, a little town called Buna. Born and
Okay.
raised, never got out.
Well, yeah, I did, but I literally got out, moved, and then that was it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
There you go.
yeah, it's hard to leave Texas.
Yeah. You're
But
welcome back anytime.
oh, I come back all the time.
That's like, there you go.
Yeah, we still breed quarter horses and breed cattle,
Oh,
and
come on.
oh yeah. So we got, yeah. If you ever need horse riding for your family, yeah, you can head out to. It's right by Commerce. It's an even smaller town than yours, I'm sure. Ladonia.
Okay.
There's about 300 people in the town.
See, we're like 1,800. So
Ah, yeah.
we're a booming metropolis to you. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. It really is. That's like big city. I don't know if we could handle it. So,
There you go.
uh,
We do. We're not a city. That's a fun fact about being.
it's
We're an unincorporated township.
uh,
No mayor, different sales tax.
well, I live in Michigan, and there is a ton of townships in Michigan.
Is it
So
really?
you can throw a rock on the map anywhere, and you can
There you go.
get near a township somewhere. There's a whole lot of townships. Even some
That's
really
amazing.
big cities are townships.
Oh,
So
come on.
don't understand it, but it's that's new fun fact for you.
There you go.
When you're in Michigan, which thankfully you will be,
I will be.
you guys are coming to Grand Rapids, which is one of my favorite arenas. It's really cool.
Me too. That was one of those when I saw on the calendar. I was like sincerely like pumped up. I love it.
Really, mainly because you're coming to see me, but
Yes.
but
No, that was
the
my
arena's
first thing.
cool too. Yeah.
The arena's also fun, a little bonus. It's a good arena.
Exactly. You know what? To be honest, I mean, if you're playing at a hot dog stand, I'm just glad to be going where concerts are happening and people are
Right.
worshiping together again. And yeah. So
Yeah.
you just had like a sold out tour in what, Virginia or West Virginia?
Yeah. We
In
did some.
August.
Yeah. Yes, we played some shows out there, and it's just been so nice. My family is 100% sick of me walking around the house singing with a guitar. I need a new audience, and so they stopped by my merch way early on into the pandemic. My family did, so I've got to find people that I can go and like play some new songs for. And so no, it's been neat. We've been kind of like venturing out, testing the waters, playing for some people here and there. I think people are just hungry to be around other folks and lift up Jesus. It's been super special.
And I almost didn't believe it was going to happen. I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'll do interviews. And then I was like, oh, will this happen? But I'm glad to say it is. So mercy
Hey,
me and Micah Tyler.
gas. They put gas in the buses.
Yeah,
That
so
means we're ready to roll.
yeah, I guess October 1st is your first date, so you're only a couple weeks out.
I know. We have 2 rehearsals next week. I fly to Nashville on Monday, and we start doing some rehearsals for the tour. I'm bringing a full band this time, and so we're pulling out all the stops. We got a lot of fun little extras that we're kind of throwing into the set.
Have you ever toured with Bart?
You know what? I have done. I was doing the math sometime the last few months. I'm going to cross over 100 shows with Mercy Me during this tour.
Oh, so you've been warned. You've been warned about all of them then.
No,
Okay.
I've never met them, but I have toured with them for 100 times. No,
Yeah.
no, we've done over. I just said, oh yeah, those guys have been so kind to me. And here's the deal. I am a sucker. Every single night that I'm out with them, there's a moment where I get drawn inside stage just watching the show. I've not only have I got to go and open for them 100 times, I've gotten to watch like 100 Mercy Me shows, which is a real bonus for me.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw Bart growing up, and June, like we went to youth group together and stuff like that, and then like later on, of course, when he was starting the band and everything, it was slow going in the beginning.
Yeah, sure.
But it's just funny how like there's times where I come to the concerts and I sit there in absolute awe that this total clown from my youth group, um, not only like he still gets me. Like there'll be a song that I've heard 60 million times. Like I can only imagine, and it's still as soon as I hear those couple of piano notes in the beginning. I'm like, no matter where I'm at, I'm like a dog that just heard a squirrel. I just stop, and it's like, oh my
For
god,
sure.
I can't even move. It's such a blessing to and watch all of the behind the scenes, watch people tell their stories. And speaking of stories, I love, so you have a single that we've been playing, Walking Free. I love
Yes.
this song. It's such a
Come on.
great song for right now. Just and I love that you're pulling a little Matthew West on us. You're getting very, got these like great stories going through there, and so you got this like my walking free story, and that is such a
Yeah.
blessing to see like what the song has meant to people and where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean
Well,
it's tear jerking.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I actually wrote the song with Matthew. Do you know
You
that?
kidding me? Oh, I didn't even
No.
know that. I was
There you
like,
go. So something subliminal got you there.
I
No,
love
me and
Matthew.
Matthew and AJ Cruz, who's been Matthew's keys player for the past few years.
Uh-huh.
The three of us wrote this song about 2.5 years ago. And it was, here's the deal. I had no idea that it was going to come on the heels on the other side of a pandemic and stuff.
Right.
But it feels very timely because I feel like
Oh
that all of
yeah.
us have kind of been hold up, shut up, waiting until it's time to kind of go
Caged.
and do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Kind of that way. And then now it feels like, hey, look, things are kind of opening back up a little bit here and there. We have concerts opening back up, those kind of things happening. And I think people are just ready to go. And so it's just, what are we going to go and do? Like, are we going to? We've been sitting back and waiting for the last year and a half. I know for me and my family, it's been like saying, okay, if we get a chance to run again, if we get a chance to go do these things, this is what we're really going to do. This is how I want to. I'm going to be so grateful every time that I get to walk on a stage because I know what it feels like to not have that the last year and a half. And all those kind of things we've just really been kind of taking into account. And, didn't know this song was for sure going to be the third single, but when we started looking at songs, I go, man, I would love to give people an anthem that
Yes.
as we get to, and here's the deal, not a political thing. I don't want to get into the whole idea of like, oh, freedom is when we don't have to wear masks. That's not true. True freedom is only found in Jesus. And for me, it's like if I was sitting in a prison cell locked up and somebody came by and said, hey, you're free to go, and they opened up the prison cell door, I would never sit inside of that prison cell and just be like, I'm so grateful to be free and just stay there.
Right.
I would want to get out of there and go do something and go somewhere.
Exactly.
And so hopefully this is an anthem for people to be able to go and run their race and give them 3.5 minutes to pump them up as they go.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. It's kind of it's an anthem, but I love the storytelling. Matthew has quite the gift for that. I think he just got would get touched by people in merch lines and things like that because he's a great storyteller. And I would anytime you can be mentored by him. He's one of my favorite and most authentic people I've met in my life.
He's the best, and he's been so kind to me. And so when we wrote this thing, I kind of told him I was going to do the music video. There's a ministry called Ground 40 that we partnered with.
I saw that.
I partnered with the last few years. And when it was time to make a music video, I basically just told my record label, I said, hey, look, it's going to look a lot more like a documentary than a music video, but I really want to go and talk to these people because I've heard these stories the past few years, and it's just so impacted me. So we went and made the music video, and it's funny because when the music video dropped, I sent a link over to Matthew, let him know. He called me and we talked for about an hour that night. He just goes, man, I am blown away by not just quality of the video and everything. He said, but man, it got him fired up to go out and tell other people about the freedom of Jesus too. It's neat. It's like we're all everybody's just kind of waiting for their chance to be able to go out and share the gospel again with other people. But in the meantime, I've so enjoyed being home with my family, being able to live out the gospel with my wife and 3 kids. That's been a beautiful gift that we received too. But like I said, they're sick of me. It's time for me to go out and go with somebody else.
Yeah, it's definitely something where I honestly think a lot of people needed to reconnect with spouses or to get closer. And I mean, it can have the opposite effect too. I understand that as well. But you're
locked in a pressure cooker with everybody.
Oh yes,
it really does bring
nowhere
up
to go.
The good and the bad. But I got to tell you, for our family, we genuinely love being a family. And so we have had more dinners around the table, more family game nights, more Nerf wars have broken out, more, memories have been made in the last year and a half than we've been able to make as a family for years now. Because I've been doing this for traveling, doing music for 10 years.
Oh
And
my.
so, like I said, with 3 kiddos, it's one of those things to where I'm gonna have to. I joke saying they want to send me out of the house. We're all having a hard time right now because it's been like, hey, Dad's the one who's dropped them off and picked them up from school every day. I'm the one who's in there making dinner every night. Like I have so I love being a dad and a husband so much, and so it has been it's not a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing that we get to stay home. We have also prayed as a family for this pandemic to be lifted and for people to be okay. Like we don't want people to get sick. We know that God can heal. But every single night we pray, God, would you just take this pandemic away? God, would you heal people? Would you take care of those on the front lines working? But also, if you don't lift it today, if these things if we're still in the middle of all this thing, I pray that we don't waste a single moment together as a family, that you would help us make memories and that we would just really be able to appreciate the time that we have together. And so it's been a rich time that I am definitely not looking forward to not seeing my family as much, and also not being in my own bed. It's the first time I've gotten used to my own mattress. So hopping on two.
So now your back's gonna be like really sorry to miss your bed. Yep.
I've got to figure out how to realign my spine after this tour's over with. It'll be something.
So at any point during the pandemic, has your wife or you thought about maybe you should have started a food truck? I'm just saying.
Hey, if this thing would have lasted much longer and we didn't have a tour, I'd be picking up the sausage delivery keys pretty soon.
I think you're not smart. I think if you really were smart, what you would do is tell Bart, "Hey, look, I'm gonna bring a food truck right alongside the tour bus, and I'll split the profits with you."
I gotta make up some missed time here.
Exactly. The pandemic really, that really threw, because a lot of people people don't realize anyone in an entertainment business, film, music, whatever it is. I mean, the rug came out from underneath everybody all at once.
Oh, yeah.
And some people had no protection, no union, no anything, and
when you're living in an industry where it depends, we make our living on playing in front of crowds of people. So when people are not able to be in crowds, it takes away a huge part of our industry. And so I am one of the few guys in CCM who has a backup career. I was a youth pastor for 10 years. I drove a truck. I was a substitute teacher at an elementary school. I've mowed grass. Matthew West, these guys are just lifer musicians. If they had to the job, they've got nothing on their LinkedIn profile to be able to go back to. But I've got a resume, so I was pumped about that. I was like, all right, if I can't do music, I've got a couple of backup gigs I can run back to. And so
I think Bart I think Bart always has the ability to do stand-up comedy as a backup if he had to.
Sure.
Yeah, he could.
It'd be good, but he needs a crowd. So you know what?
Yeah, but you got to have people to do it in front of.
You got to be self-sufficient. So
there you go.
I'm one, and it's the one thing in my life that I've got a leg up on Bart Miller in.
But also too, he can't play musical instruments.
Okay, but here's the deal. Here's what's funny. He can. One day we were sitting there and they were rehearsing something, and he picked up a guitar, and it's not like he's like Stevie Ray Vaughan, but he starts playing the guitar, and I said, why don't you ever play that on stage? He goes, I don't need to. These guys do it for me. I said, okay.
That would be. Now he's got his son doing it, so now.
That's right. Yep. He's another generation. That's what I got to do. I should have trained up my kids to be on tour with me one day. That'd been a good thing to do.
Sam's he's always loved music. I think it was always going to be, I think, in his future.
Well, it's funny because when we were on that tour with Mercy Me and Crowder, Sam was out there, and they sent him over to me at one point and said, hey, Sam's going to go up and sing a song with Bart tonight. He's going to sing Because He Lives, just him by himself.
Right.
And I was like, oh, and they said, can you coach him up? Because I'm constantly running on stage with just an acoustic guitar by myself. Like, hey, can you give him some pointers? So I sat down with Sam, and then I stood side stage and watched Sam walk up on stage for the first. It's so funny because Sam was playing in front. The only other time he played in front of people was 15 people in his youth group.
Yeah.
And then his second or third time to ever be on stage playing music was in front of 9,000 people in Phoenix.
He's got the Bart gene.
but you know what? He got up there and just did it. And so he got up there and did it for 4 or 5 different times. And so now, now he's a pro. I'm excited about seeing him out here on this tour and doing this thing. It's gonna be a ton of fun.
Well, anybody wants to know tour information could go to mercyme.org. But if they want more information on Micah and your music and everything, all things Micah, where do they go?
Hey, MicahTaylor.com is a good place to go. It's a good landing page. It sends you to my music. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. All that kind of stuff. Micah Taylor Music is typically where they can find me on all the social media things. I have not given up or given in to the TikTok bug just yet. So I'm not there.
Me neither.
I'm for that right now, but I'm waiting it out. At some point, someone's going to make me do it. I'll be there then. But until then, MicahTaylor.com is a good place to go. And I've got tour information on there too if they want to go and check out and grab tickets from our site too. While you're there, you can come and see us and hang out and come and actually sit in the crowd and watch the show.
I cannot wait. You will be, thankfully, in looks like Grand Rapids, November 6th. So I'm there. Oh, I'm so excited. So you guys have a blessed day together, and enjoy these next couple of weeks before you're on the bus and on the road. And but that'll be a blessing too. But
That's it.
and take care, and I will see you in the Great White North in the cold in November.
Sounds great. Thanks, Ginger.
Thanks, Micah.